But the church, their main job is to minister the gospel. It's a ministry of mercy and grace. That's what the church primarily does. That's our primary job. We minister mercy and grace through word and sacrament. Through word and sacrament. Word is composed of preaching, song, prayer, and any Bible-based discipleship. Sacrament is found in communion and baptism, which are outward testimonies of God's inward work. Okay, God grants us faith through the Spirit. That's why we partake in communion, the broken body and shed blood of Christ, and why we are buried with Christ in baptism and raised to newness in life as we come out of the water. Now, I do think there should be separation of church and state, which means, according to our founding documents, that there should not be a state church that receives tax monies. That's what it means. There should not be a state church, one state church, that every citizen in the civilization has to attend and be a member of, and part of their taxes go to that church. That's what separation of church and state means in our country. I think this is a wise segregation, but it's been deceptively used by the devil to convince the citizens of the church even, and the family, that separation of church and state actually means you can worship God however you want as long as it's silent. You can worship God however you want as long as it's silent. It doesn't leave your doors. The devil has fooled us and taken our own, what I think is a generally good extra-biblical document, extra-biblical idea, separation of church and state, and he's made it so much so that pastors are afraid to preach the Bible in church. Parents are afraid to teach their children the Bible in their homes because the government has convinced us that anything pertaining to the Lord our God, who created the officials telling us to not teach these things, the God who sustains their very breath as they tell us, don't you know there's separation of church and state? You can't possibly say anything, even remotely Christian, in any public sphere whatsoever, especially not in school. But this is a lie. As we've seen through Romans, there is no neutral person. There's no neutral government. There's no neutral public school. There's no neutral church or family in all of the world.